a media chat with Otunba Kayode Howells. He is one of the formidable community leaders, personality in Sagamu, Remo, Ogun State. We are here to have some interview with Otunba Kayode Howells about the security of Sagamu and Remo in general. Now, sir, Otunba Kayode Howells, you are welcome to this interview, sir.
My pleasure it is.
Otunba Kayode, as one of the prominent community leaders and a vibrant young man who has been ordained with chieftaincy title and so on and so forth, you are Otunba. Can you explain to us the Otunba title that is being conferred on you, sir?
Well, thanks for the privilege in the first instance. I am Otunba Kayode Howells, the Otunba Atunluto of Makun Kingdom in Sagamu.
Sir, there are certain things that have been generating and causing some furor in the community. First, it's about the security of Sagamu. People believe security of Sagamu or Remo has been broken down, and security has given way to insecurity. Now, what can you say about security that has paved the way to insecurity? First and foremost, elaborate.
I would want to make some little amendments in the question that you asked, or in the last sentence that you made, that the security of Sagamu Township had broken down. I disagree with you. The security of Sagamu has never broken down, and by His grace it will never break down. It's just that we had a breach of peaceful coexistence at a particular point in time, and to the glory of God, I believe the tension is highly down, is highly low now. So if it had broken down, you will not be here. You will not be here to interview me, neither will I be here around too. So it didn't really break down. There was a breach of it. It's been somehow controlled, and we are looking forward to a lasting solution to whatever led to the breakdown of law and order at a particular point in time in Sagamu. And that, of course, was being caused by the restiveness was being caused by these so-called cultists who had over time been causing unnecessary crises within the town for reasons best known to them, but not acceptable to the community at large.
Okay, Otunba Kayode, you see, the application of the word breakdown of security was made because, you know, in a week, sometime, there's no day or no week people will not run for their life because of the atrocity or atrocious behavior of the so-called people who are called members of a group or fraternity, either a year or whatever fraternity. So all along, people in Sagamu don't sleep with two eyes closed. So that's why we make the application of the word breakdown. So although the government and the entire community leaders, they are taking partial care of that area, but that's the main reason why we made the application of that word. But in all, sir, when you look at the community today, people are still very, very restive, restless, hopeless, because of the situation we are finding ourselves today in the hands of the members of this fraternity. Sir, we now learned that there is a group organized, chairmaned by you, called Peace Committee or Organizing Committee. Okay, sir. We want you to enlighten the community, the populace, about that group, sir. What is the paramount objective of that group, sir?
That's a big one, but easy to address. Like I said, it's a big one, but very easy to address. Out of concern for the soul of Sagamu, a group of people were mobilized by my humble self at a time when we felt these young boys were terrorizing the community. You will see that I've been using the term cultist as against fraternity, because to me I think there is difference between these two. These cultists to me are the murderers. Fraternity to me is like a communion of like minds for the betterment of themselves and the community at large. So back to what prompted us into Organization for Community Peace Reconciliation. Out of concern for the soul of Sagamu, when we noticed all this, we felt, oh, these boys have a wrong orientation to life. They have a different orientation to life, and we felt the need to reorientate them, to make them see reason why a growing child should embrace peaceful coexistence, to give themselves a new lease of life. You cannot be a terrorist and expect to be accorded respect, regards, expect to be welcomed at any fora as a responsible person. So we felt that first we need to work on them to make them responsible. Because these boys that we're talking of, these occultists we're talking about, they are not ghosts. They live amongst us in the town. We know them. Everybody in the town knows them because they don't hide their faces. When they wreak their havocs, they don't do such hiddenly. They do it in the open, so everybody knows them. And at a point, we felt these boys should be given different orientation. They should be made to see the difference between living a responsible life and an irresponsible one. In the real sense, Organization for Community Peace Reconciliation was not basically registered to only work on this so-called cultist. It was initiated to encourage peaceful coexistence within our community, to resolve matters, to resolve issues, to make issues not crop up, to be some sort of guide to ourselves. Because even we are not above being corrected when the need arises. So that was what led us to initiating the move for the registration of Organization for Community Peace Reconciliation. And having gotten the registration from the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, we found out that what we needed to address as a matter of urgency was this restiveness being caused by cultists within the town. Hence, we believed that charity begins at home. Sagamu being where we reside, and being faced with the menace of cultism, we felt we would be lacking in our responsibility as an Ogun State registered organization, because OCPR is Ogun State registered. We just have the headquarters here. The chapter is Ogun State chapter. We now felt charity begins at home. Where our headquarters is, we are faced with the challenges of cultist menace. Let us be supportive to the authorities that be. We are not security agents, neither are we the traditional rulers or what have you. But there is nothing we could have done without being incorporated into the system, into the community system as stakeholders. And that was why we began to work on. We've organized workshops. We've organized public lectures with the intention of addressing issues that relate to their misbehaviors. And to God's glory, for like almost 2 years in Sagamu, there was no case of anybody attacking themselves, coming out on the streets to kill people, to murder people in broad daylight. So we were on that mission in conjunction with the understanding, in conjunction and understanding with our traditional rulers in the town. And I am proud and bold to say, at a point we had to commit ourselves traditionally. I guess you know what I meant. I guess you know what I meant by saying we had to commit ourselves traditionally to sort of assure our traditional rulers that we would be sincere in the discharge of our responsibilities, which of course we were and we are still. So also we relate with the security agencies where we feel someone should be arrested. Probably we've been talking to the person, we've been trying to engage the person to live a responsible life, and he fails to abide. We ensure the arrest of such person, but we have challenges on such arrests, because not longer, not. It's like almost as soon as whoever found wanting is being arrested, you discover that some power that be will rise to the rescue of such person. That is a challenge. It's a challenge. I am not and will never be afraid or be scared of saying the truth and saying it as it were, because I don't believe anyone could do me nothing as long as we stand by the truth. You now tell me you facilitate the arrest of someone, and in the next 1 week you come to see the person on the street again. How frustrating could that be? That could be best imagined. So also, we still have some people in the process of we discharging our duties. Some people will go into sort of blackmails, sort of maligning and defaming characters and all that, whereas they are not coming out or coming up preferring solutions to this restiveness. All these things made us to sort of say we are going back to being an NGO that we were registered for in January 2022. And that's we kept on to, not until last month or thereabout when these boys started again. I don't know if you have been observing me and my comments and my posts on some social media platforms recently, wherein I laid some, I raised some issues ranging from our seeming feeling that the local government chairman was insensitive to the cause of fighting security within the town. In Yoruba land, there is an adage in Yoruba that says security matters is everyone's business. As long as you reside in a community where security of lives and properties are being tampered with, you automatically become a stakeholder. You are a stakeholder. Every one of us here, every one of you are stakeholders to security issues, to anything that affects your well-being in this Sagamu township. You are automatically a stakeholder. You will be bothered. You will be concerned. And that was why we had to call out the chairman. Because recently when we saw all that had been happening, we saw that it's the method the community is using is same old method. The method of waiting until these boys begins their madness before you now start going after them. Can't we evolve initiatives, innovations that could curb this thing drastically, that could ensure that they don't come out with their madness before we now start running after them? Can't we cage them before they come out? If we cage them, they can't be out on the streets. So I feel the system we've been using, you would notice that some weeks back, the police were on the streets, the soldiers, the blah 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 were everywhere on the streets. Whereas these boys we are after, they know we are after them. They run. They take cover where may seem impossible for us to for the security agencies to get at them. That had been the system all the while. What we our view now is the method should be changed. The method should be changed. And when any cultist is being caught, is being arrested, he should be treated as a criminal. As a criminal, as a murderer. In any cult clash where death has occurred, that's a murder case. So anyone found wanting, anyone caught, anyone arrested at that period in time should be assumed a murderer and made to face the court of law. There should be prosecution. There should be prosecution. In the recent past, there have not been cases of prosecution. Today, as peace-loving organization, we are saying there should be prosecution of criminals caught in any. So by so doing, that will serve as a deterrent. The information gathered on the streets over the years tells us that our people in the town tend to give accolades to known cultists. Our people on the streets in the town tend to harbor some sort of fears about known cultists. And with this fact, some upcoming young ones are beginning to see them as models. Does that feel sane to you? I consider that as insanity. When you begin to see a murderer as a role model, when you begin to feel I want to make name the same way a murderer made name. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense to me. So today, what we are praying, what we are clamoring for, what we are campaigning for is that any body caught as a cultist should be treated as a criminal and on murder charge. So we thought we were going to resign from involving ourselves on issues that relate to these cultists within the town, but alas, a month ago, the concern for Sagamu got at us again. When we saw glaringly how Sagamu Township was bleeding, wherein innocent souls, aside criminals like themselves, innocent souls were killed in broad daylight at night and whatever. So that was what made us to feel like returning to put in our own efforts in conjunction with other stakeholders to ensure that we put a final end, that will find a lasting solution to this problem. Sagamu is in a vantage position in this country. You cannot go to any part of the northern states without passing through Sagamu from Lagos. You cannot go to other states from Lagos without passing through Sagamu. Consider the proximity of Sagamu also to Lagos itself. Sagamu is developing, fastly developing, and It is only in a peaceful environment that businesses can thrive. The socio-economic sector of our town could thrive. Industrialization would be encouraged, would be encouraging to investors once they are assured of peaceful coexistence. So we are praying and hoping that all hands would come on deck to keep rescuing Sagamu, to find lasting solution to any issue that could breach our peaceful coexistence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sir, Otunba, Otunba, you see, as an indigenous of this community, we have heard a lot, rumor, dangerous peddling of this, that. You see that most of our leaders of thought, they are part and parcel of that cultism, in a way, by giving encouragement to these boys. And that is why it has been taking longer period for these things to be packed under the carpet. What have you to say, sir?
Well, I wouldn't say I've not been hearing such rumor everywhere. You see, like I said, I try to differentiate fraternity to cultism. And I believe the law of this town, the law of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria gives room to renouncement and also freedom of association. Most of these organizations like the MBM, New Black Movement of Africa, which is the AYE, the Supreme Mayor Confraternity, the Brothers Across Africa, which we refer to as buccaneers, as Aloras this day, the Pirate Confraternity, who are the Sea Dogs, most of them were registered. And I'm sure nobody would have registered any organization knowing fully well that there will be murderers, they will be killing people around. There's been, I'm not holding brief for anybody, but I don't see that as the cause of whatever problems we could be facing. You know? What I see, like I wanted to say, I wouldn't cut that short. I'm not holding brief for any association, any confraternity or whatever. But what I'm saying is, none of this association could have been registered on the basis of we want to be murderers, we want to be killers. No. And you know, part of the major problem we have amongst us, hypocrisy, backbiting, backstabbing. Whereas whoever does that, check the person well. Check the person very well. You probably would find some feces in the anus of such person if you dip your hand or you dip your finger through. I don't see that as a problem. What I see as problem is the stakeholders did not act when they should act. But it's not too late. It's not too late. I gave an instance. There's no way somebody could be arrested for murder or act of cultism that you will expect me, Otunba Kayode Howells, to come for your bail. It's impossible. There's no way. You can do your check around. I will never. But how many of us could do that? I gave instance of where someone was arrested and in no time released. Why? Because some power that be, insincerity by us, I want to say us now, the leaders, insincerity to our community, I believe caused all this. Because for heaven's sake, who are these boys? Who are these boys to hold a whole town to ransom? Who are they? Is there anyone that can fight a community? Is there anyone that can fight a community? I tell you, Anoba cannot fight a community. Anoba, being the traditional ruler of a community, that is in the hem of affairs of the community, knows too well that he cannot fight a community. Now, not to talk of these miscreants that are called, to me, they are into cultism. No, we have a body fraternity now. We have Aborigine fraternity. We have other confraternities now. So, are they murderers? Are they murderers? I don't know. Maybe somebody could just check the phone for me to check the meaning, the dictionary, look into your phone, come up with the meaning of cultism, and the meaning of confraternity. You will notice that obviously there are differences there. So it is not because somebody was this, somebody was that. We all have our past. Nobody is a saint. Nobody is a saint. But what we are saying is, let there be synergy amongst all stakeholders within the town to occasion peaceful, everlasting peaceful coexistence. Basic. Yeah.
So people outside, people, even while I was coming to meet you, you could have been here earlier than this time. They said that you are going to interview Kayode. I'm not cultist. Is Kayode a cultist? When we get there, when we get to the bridge, we shall think of that. So, can you say that to me?
Whoever says that, you know, while talking, I've been talking about blackmailers, backstabbers, slanderers, and all that. Whoever says that must be sick upstairs. Because whatever we are doing, we've been doing out of concern and with every sense of genuity and every purpose of sincerity. My brother, if you have 2 kids at home, they are boys, they keep fighting themselves every day. You as their father or their brother, would you just sit down to say, those boys, they are stubborn boys. I don't want to associate myself with them. There wouldn't be need for me to intervene in their matters. Is that what you would do? You would intervene. Because sometimes the cause of or causes of their rows, their fights, they might be something that should be addressed through counseling and all that. Now, would your intervention now qualify you as a troublesome person as they are? Will that? So our engagement with these boys, with the good intention of orientating them, is federal government not going into talks with Boko Haram? Does that make the the federal government officials, does that make them bandits? Does that make them Boko Haram? Whoever says Otunba Kayode Howells is a cultist should be taken to Yaba Psychiatry Center or taken to Aru for medical check, because Otunba Kayode Howells is just being concerned as every other sincerely concerned person about the well-being of ourselves in Sagamu. And whoever has Otunba Kayode Howells that to buttress the silly insinuations that Otunba Kayode is a cultist, don't go to him, don't let the person come up with his facts or our facts and figure to indict me. If they can't come up with it, they should let it die inside them, because I am not a cultist and I wouldn't know what I would stand to gain at this point in my life. I am in my late 50s. So what would I want to have? You say, am I a politician? What do I want with them? Oh, I want to send them errand to go and kill somebody for me? Nobody born of a woman can intimidate me. Nobody born of a woman can intimidate me, can frustrate me out of what I believe in doing. And that was the reason why we registered our organization. And our records, our achievements are everywhere. You would have been aware of the NSAS that was to take place in Sagamu. You should be aware that our organization took the lead in forestalling the NSAS crisis in Sagamu. That is of cultists, Abi, isn't it? Those are cultists who did not want. Wouldn't we have been? Wouldn't we have seen that as an opportunity to support people in looting and all that? We forestalled it to the glory of God with the support of security agents. When Sagamu people wanted to burn down police stations in Sagamu and all that, when some boys were like, they want to attack some police officers within the town, who were the people that were there? Members of Sagamu Peace Agenda Forum. When COVID-19, when the warehouse, the NYC warehouse was to be looted by boys within the town, who manned security posts in the nooks, within the nooks and cranny of Sagamu Township. Wait, was it the same OCPR, same Sagamu Peace Agenda Forum? Many, so many. The Kaka saga, when the young Kaka died, was unlawfully killed by a silly and mad policeman. Was it not same Sagamu Peace Agenda Forum that was there to forestall the looming crisis then? Oh, so it is now that we are cultists. Anyway, if anyone likes whatever they like, they may say. I remain who I am. OCPR remain what it is. And we shall never be intimidated. We shall never be blackmailed out of our good intention. If there's anyone that has that also has good intention for the security of our beloved Sagamu, let them come up with their organizations. Let them come up with their solutions. Let them profile solutions to the lingering crisis in the town. We would be willing to partner with them. But whoever does not have a solution to any problem in this town should keep his or her mouth shut forever. Thank you.